Hello, everyone. Welcome to This Week at Shrouded, episode 108. I'm your host, A. Greener, and with me today we have Mr. Wrecked and Thunder. Thanks for being here.
What's up? I don't want to go too off topic right out the gate, but I'm sitting in my office right now, and Amazon delivery driver just delivered a package, right? He gets out of his truck, and his truck door is literally opens right to my walk, all right, that goes across the side of my grass. Okay. He doesn't take the walk. He walks through my grass immediately next to the walk. If he stepped 6 inches, less than 6 inches to his right, he would have been on my walk. He came up, put down the package, turned around, walked back out to my grass, and walked on my grass all the way out and not on the fucking walk. All right. Anyway, Destiny stuff. I'm irritated. I'm already hot because of the fucking Amazon delivery driver being a loser. Let's go. Let's talk about Destiny. I'm primed and ready.
Holy shit. All right, this is off to a good start, but we got nothing to talk about.
Bro got rage baited before the fucking podcast.
That's wild though. Because does that I see chat going and talking about how it's annoying. You're obviously annoyed. I could care less if someone walks on my grass. Is that an American thing? I don't know.
I don't care if people walk across my grass, but it's kind of irritating that he's walking on the grass next to my very clear and open and clean walkway. Okay. Like there's a walkway there for you to take.
All right. My house is a little different where you have to come up the driveway to get to my house, to my door anyway. So nobody ever walks across the grass because it doesn't make sense. Because then you'd have to walk through a bush to get to the door. So maybe that's why it doesn't annoy me. Because no one does it. That wouldn't make much sense. Okay, let's get back into the actual podcast. Hello, everybody. Once again, this is a Destiny podcast. I promise you. We're here to talk a little bit about Destiny. We got some stuff going on in the Marathon universe. I know it's not Destiny, but same company. We're gonna touch on that. Thunder says he wants to talk about something important. Not sure what it is, but we'll get there. But first, we're going We're going to talk about our weekly winners. Every week, if you don't know, we give away 2,300 silver to one lucky listener, viewer, whatever you want to call them, fan, and one merchandise, SGC merchandise. Now, if you're curious how you can win those things, you should come on over to our Discord. You can find it by going to shroudedgaming.com/discord. We're a big Destiny community, lots of Destiny, lots of LFG, lots of clans, lots of fun, lots of activities, lots of rewards, a lot of awesomeness. You should check it out. Once again, shroudedgaming.com/discord. Now, with that said, I do have to say the T-shirt tickets recently have been a little lackluster, so we may be, I'm not sure exactly yet, maybe things will change in the next couple weeks. But we may be changing that out for a different reward because I think people have enough shirts. Maybe we do a different piece of merchandise. Maybe we just rip the merchandise off completely. We'll find out. Anyway, this week's winners: the silver goes to Devilito 666. Congratulations, and the T-shirt goes to official_Thunder. Rigged. It was a little rigged, to be honest.
WRNG.
Yeah. Anyway, on our stream, also, if you want to check us out on twitch.tv/Shrouded Gaming, we currently have a Nintendo Switch 2 giveaway live. Make sure to use your loyalty points to purchase some tickets. To get the link, type !current giveaway in chat. You should do that. Buy some tickets. Don't let it go. Draws in June. Woo! Hopefully, Nintendo doesn't cancel my pre-order or I'll cry. That's it. Let's talk about some Destiny. So we can start right off with the Rite of the 9 changes. So, I mean, I'll give you a little recap if you didn't know. Rite of the 9 launched last week. The first dungeon was Spire. There were some people debating before the reset whether we'd be getting ghosts or there would be more Spire. No space. Sorry. And I don't know where they actually got that information before the launch. Like, why? Does anyone know why before reset anyone thought that it was going to be Spire again?
No.
Then why did I see that stuff on Twitter?
I think people were memeing.
The exact way they worded it was like one of the dungeons will be featured each week, and I guess some people were able to interpret that they meant like it's gonna like not rotate once per week, which, like, I guess sure, but that is so vague, you know.
Yeah, I don't think it had to do with the specific reveal. The ones that I was looking at, it was just, it seemed like maybe data farming potentially might have been involved in knowing that Spire was going to be there again this week. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That wasn't too much. That was just a few tweets that I saw, and in my brain, I was like, "Why would it be Spire again?" And apparently, everyone else thought the exact same thing, because on Tuesday Reset, when it was Spire again, and everybody realized they'd be doing 3 weeks of Spire, 3 weeks of Ghost, and then 3 weeks of Prophecy. And then the last week would be everything. Everybody on the internet lost their mind. And I'm talking everybody, chat. I did not see one person be like, meh, whatever. Except for me, of course, because I didn't get to farm Spire last week. So I was like, hey, that works for me. Anyway.
And now you get to farm it with the attrition modifier. Big fun.
And then they made it fucking AIDS to play, so that's great.
Anyway. So, and when I mean everybody, I mean literally, like, the content creators on social media were giving them shit, like hard as shit.
That doesn't surprise me. They need more content too. They need more things to stream, you know?
There's other stuff to do. Do something else. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I'm just not a complainer. It's not who I am. I just go on and be like, hey, okay, have a good day. But anyway, to the point where they complained enough that Bungie put out some changes that they're going to do. But before we get to the changes, how were your thoughts on getting Spire again?
I'll let you go first, Rick.
I have two thoughts. I too thought it was going to be rotating through the dungeons, because that makes sense to have one every week. And I wish that Bungie would have made a communication about whatever was going to be ahead of time, so expectations could have been set appropriately. But the people that kept bitching and moaning about time gating, I'm so over listening to bitching about time gating. I don't care if I can't do everything today. I don't care if I've got to do another step next week. It's fine. Not hurting anything, you know. Don't need instant gratification on this activity or that puzzle or that loot grind. It's fine. As long as the time gating isn't so bad as to be like the old way like dungeon rotations were, where you literally had to wait like 10 weeks for the dungeon you want to come across and just hope the rotation get fucked. You know, that can be annoying, and I totally get that. But for this kind of stuff, and for like the puzzle that we just did where people were bitching about time gating, I'm so over it. I'm so over it. I don't care. It's such a nothing whine, bitch, and moan. A lot of people are saying it doesn't respect your time. Bitch! What do you mean it doesn't respect your time? You do some of it next week. You do some of it this week. They're not giving it to you all right now. It doesn't respect your time because you can't spend more time in Destiny right this fucking second? That don't make any sense. Anyway. That's what I thought about it.
I feel like my problem... Well, I don't like the time gating of it. Like, I would prefer... Or, it's just the fact because they literally have called this thing like a Pantheon-esque activity is probably why people thought it would go week by week, you know, just following the same blueprint. It's not necessarily the time gating I have a problem with, because even if it is just stupid, like, it's just the standard at this point, Bungie doing stupid things. Just the fact that they were so vague about it. Same kind of thing with them being vague about, like, the guy on Twitter asking why he's getting banned instead of just saying, like, yeah, you're a weirdo. They were super vague about it. Same problem. Like, why be vague about it and, like, aura farm about it and just say, like, yeah, it's not going to rotate every week? Like, there's no way Bungie is, like, not tuned in enough to like, there's no way they thought they were going to get shit for it, right? Especially with the way they're handling it. I refuse to believe they thought they genuinely could, like, get away with it and not get shit for it.
They could have just said up front, hey, this is the schedule. 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if they had been upfront with it, I feel like people wouldn't have an issue with it. But just because of the way they did it, was just like, why do it that way? It's just so weird.
People would have definitely complained because that's what Destiny players do. That's what gamers do in general. But it wouldn't have been as bad, I don't think.
Yeah. And while people definitely would have still had a problem with having to wait, for Ghosts and Prophecy and all that. It would have been a lot better if they had just been upfront with it. And because I know I thought I was gonna be doing Ghosts because on Tuesday I had a photo shoot to do in the morning. So the plan was to do the photo shoot, come home around reset, and then do Ghosts. And I do the photo shoot. I get home, I sit down, I open Twitter. The first thing I see is, it's Spire still. I then open Twitch and go look at just Dados and Sweat stream real quick, and everyone in their chats was like, "What are they doing?" While I was on Sweat stream, he started up a poll. Obviously, he only had 1,000 viewers at the time, but just a poll of who thought it was going to be Spire again this week. The vote was 97% of people thought it was going to switch to Ghosts or Prophecy, either one. So just off that small percentage, 3% of people thought it would be Spire again. So yeah. And a little off topic, but they also, I'm pretty sure they said they're not adding attrition to it, and then they did. So I know for me personally, I'm not touching Rite of the Nine this week just because it's just attrition is such an annoying modifier. It literally kills any interest in me playing the activity. Granted, I already got what I want from Spire, so I wasn't going to play it anyway, But if I still needed loot, I would just wait, because attrition is horrible. I don't want to deal with it. So,
cool. What does attrition do again?
If you're standing still, you start dying.
That's that one. Okay, I don't know the names of them, but I'm dumb.
That's haste.
Yeah,
it's just you don't heal unless you pick up the little orbs that things drop.
My fault. Yeah. Still.
Okay.
You know what the great thing about that in this particular instance? If you're fucked up and you really need one of those orbs, you kill a goblin to get one. The goblin spawns a pool of shit that's gonna kill you before you can pick up the stupid orb.
Yeah, and I might be wrong about it, but I'm pretty sure they said they're not adding attrition to Rite of the Nine, and then they proceeded to do it. Again, I might be wrong about that, but also just them blatantly lying to us. Which, to be fair, they blatantly lie to us all the time, so it's just the standard at this point.
Okay. All right. My thought was similar to a lot of people they were arguing online about why Bungie was doing this, whether it was player retention later into the month, yada yada yada, and then just mad that Bungie were making company decisions, I guess, instead of fun video gaming decisions. I guess that makes sense in the long run. Both really make sense. I don't know which one is better for retention.
Yeah,
no idea. I don't run those stats. I've got no obviously having Spire this week is not good for retention this week. But do they want people playing more 7 weeks from the launch of Rite of the Nine than they would if it was the second rotation of threes? I guess whatever the 7th week would be. It'd be Spire again. The third time we got to do Spire, if it went in order.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how they were thinking. I don't know the reasoning. I don't know why.
But
the communication was fucking. They're usually really good at it. I always get so many people. I think I find it really amusing. I play a lot of games. Community teams are terrible in a lot of games. Bungie provides so much information. I find. About their game to people, but then something like this happens, and everybody's like, "Bungie's always been fucking terrible at explaining things to people." And
that's a lie.
Like,
I do.
Yeah,
I do want to add. I knew there was a point I was forgetting about. I've remembered it. Another part of it, I feel like people that adds to the whole situation is it's like a brain dead decision by them, but it's the fact that it's another one. Bungie just makes so many decisions that any person could yeah, that's really stupid, and they just do so many of them. Even if they're spaced apart, it's been a year or whatever since the last one, they just do so much stupid shit that it's you think they learned their lesson, and they just kind of never do. I feel like that's a big part of people aren't acknowledging is just it's fatigue of them just doing stupid shit and just getting away with it, and then they could proceed to keep doing it over and over again. You know,
In the pre-show, I did mention that Bungie cannot stop from stepping on their own dick constantly.
exactly. Yeah, that's part of it. And I feel like with the whole community, like them being talkative thing, I feel like that's a Final Shape thing. Like, I remember when Final Shape first launched and their Twitter support team was like going crazy on being talkative. Everyone was like, yeah, this is a huge W. Like, they're actually talking to us. I remember like them not talking about shit before Final Shape launched, because it was like a Twitter renaissance when Final Shape launched. Maybe
well,
remembering wrong, but I feel like that's just the Final Shape
the
thing.
whole team earlier that year.
Yeah.
That's why.
See, I feel like people are
And then
their opinions are outdated. Like, they are talkative now, but they weren't talkative for so long.
Yeah, that's fair. After the whole team was fired back in October, yeah, definitely things probably weren't going so well. But you'll notice the difference. Unfortunately, DMG rejoined the team 1 week after Final Shape launched.
Yeah.
Right?
Listen, I think Bungie has a long history of being far more communicative
Cutting out
than.
again. Eat your mic.
I think Bungie has a track record of being far more communicative than most other developers, especially big developers. We still live in a world where devs are trying to offer information a lot and get shit on about it, get shit on so hard by the community that they just fucking stop. They just say, we're not doing this anymore. We don't want to do this anymore. It's not good for us. But Bungie has been pretty consistent about that. Have there been times where Bungie communication has not been good? Yeah. But usually there's things going on that you can pinpoint why that has been the case. That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
The reason I brought up sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I feel like, yeah, they are one of the better ones. But I feel like most people, like, people's issue is they're mostly talkative when like they do something wrong and have to like respond to feedback or to like backlash. I think is like what people's issue is, you know. But maybe I'm wrong about that.
I don't know. I spent a lot of time on Twitter, and the Destiny team now and DMG are always asking what people are thinking, what's your mindset at, how's your launch going. You know, something weird happens, and he'll be like, "Okay, just FYI, this has been passed on to the team. They're looking at ways to change this." That's obviously that's a negative. Something bad happened. But I feel like they're always being out there, and I see the Destiny team communicating a lot just for funsies, like on people's posts. I think that's really cool communication as well. I know it's not in-game communication or game information communication. Anyway, the reason I brought up DMG earlier was simply because he's moving to a different position. So I don't know if that's going to make communication from the Destiny team worse, or whoever they're going to put in his place is going to be even better. I find it really hard to believe that they would be anywhere near as good as DMG, because I don't know. I don't see any like community like team leader on any development team that's anywhere near this guy's communication level and just straight up shit that he says is good. I think it's good, really good, especially since his return. Might have been different beforehand, but obviously because that was due to a lot of the whole, murder threats and stuff that he would get. I can't even imagine when Liana was part of the team what kind of shit she had to deal with in her DMs. People are psychotic, and they're particularly psychotic towards women.
I feel like also specifically the Destiny community is worse.
I don't think
they're
the
worse.
Community is worse.
I think it's gamers.
I think it's a gamer issue, not a Destiny specific issue. Personally,
I've been in a lot of different communities, and they're all bad. Every one of them. I think maybe just in general, humans suck. So maybe it's not even gamers.
I would wager that some other large communities, like the League of Legends community, probably worse. Warzone community, probably worse.
I don't know if they're worse, but they're definitely as bad. Yeah.
Even like CS2, probably a worse community overall. I would wager.
I was in the CS community a long time, and I don't remember there being actually like I would fight against that. I would say Counter-Strike is better than Destiny. I was in the I didn't play in the competitive scene, but I focused a lot on the competitive scene. I played pretty high competitive tiers in the game. I followed the patches and stuff like that, and communication. And let me tell you, maybe that's where I learned a lot about what companies that don't communicate with their players are like. And it probably was from Valve, because they don't say anything about anything ever.
I feel like Destiny has. I mean, I haven't been like deep into like a lot of gaming communities, but I feel like Destiny, from my experiences, has the weirdest player base I've ever been a part of. Like, just so many things that are just like really odd about the Destiny community that I don't see anywhere else.
That might be
League
because
players
of
are weird.
the unique niche that Destiny fills, though.
Maybe. Anyway, yeah. So what we've talked about essentially was right of the 9. People didn't like how it was being rolled out. We didn't even talk about the changes yet. That the gaming communities are fucking weird. Destiny might be worst of all, and we didn't all agree on that point, by the way. But point is, they're pretty bad.
Apex. Apex is probably up there as toxic gaming communities too.
They're pretty bad, are they? I don't know much about Apex's community. I watched one Apex streamer like 10 years ago. Not that long ago, obviously.
I was gonna say, what?
Since it wasn't out yet. But how old is Apex? Was that 2019 or was it later?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, 2019. Or okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I was trying. I'm like going. Yeah.
I said,
like,
was it 2019 or later? He's like, yes.
I was racking my brain trying to think of when I first played it, because I played it like first week of it being out. I was trying to remember when that was.
Oh yeah, I just seeing in chat. League's not a good. No, League is not. League is a terrible place. But we're not only talking about people being toxic in the game itself, because everybody who plays PvP in any game is toxic. That's just, people hate to lose and they blame everyone else, especially if it's a team game. It's never their fault, which I find really amusing. And that's actually that I could go on a big thought about that.
I found it refreshing in Rivals when I was still actively playing it at the beginning, that people would go off on either the text chat or the voice chat, and the moment they said anything toxic, I would be Johnny on the spot with the report, and within 15 to 30 minutes, I'd get a notification that that person had been banned.
Nice.
It was great.
Yeah, and I definitely, I've been guilty of that. I was guilty of that a long time ago. I was pretty deep in the League of Legends scene, probably shit at this point, I don't know, like 2014, 2015. You know, I was the same way. I highly admit it. Like, probably for about a year, it's like I was like in gold, I think, at the time, and I'm just like, I felt like I was so much better, and the reason I couldn't get any further was just because my fucking teammates, they were always so terrible, bad, yada yada. I would complain, I would rage, I would get mad. I wouldn't necessarily like get mad at them. I would just be mad, and smashing my desk and just like, oh my god, why would you fucking do that type stuff. And I don't know, eventually something clicked in me that was just like, you know what? There's all these streamers that are playing League. They keep doing all these things where they go, I'm going from bronze to challenger in one weekend, or I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. And eventually I got to a certain point in my brain, like seeing all that stuff was like, you know, if it really was their teammates or my teammates, then these people wouldn't be able to do that like it was nothing. I just suck. And it hit me one day, and I stopped being rageful at League of Legends. I probably played it for another year or two after that. But when I was losing, it flipped a switch in my brain that made it realize that I'm not perfect. I'm part of why we're losing. And I just got a lot less angry at everyone. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm explaining it really good or anything. It just... And I've taken that into almost every competitive game I've played since. So probably in the last 10 years. And I'm just not mad at losing anymore for some reason. I don't know why. And I think it's funny when other people do. But there was a point in my life that I was like that.
So I am never one to say my team is the reason that something is going badly. That said, I will call out a specific person on my team who is actually playing badly, and I will rage the fuck at them. Now, I will never send them a message. I don't know these people. I will blast all the people in VC with me about this idiot that's on my team. But sometimes that idiot's also me, and I will blast myself as well. So,
I can confirm that too. That happened all in one voice chat session that I had with Rect. I think I was playing Trials, and I remember you were getting mad at something going on in comp. You were farming comp, and then you got to a certain point of the night where you were trying to get better at hand cannons, and you're like, "Fuck! I'm so bad." It was really funny. Yeah, so it went from being mad at his players to being terrible to him being terrible at hand cannons. It was pretty amusing.
I feel like most of the time when I get mad at my teammates, it's just cope. But I have definitely been hell. I was in a raid yesterday where I will literally watch a wipe happen just because someone either is standing still doing nothing or they're just not paying attention. So I feel like it definitely is real sometimes.
Yeah, there's definitely times where you get a teammate as the reason you lose. Absolutely. But my point was really, if you're good enough to get beyond a certain rank, your team's not going to hold you back. Yeah. You're going to get there because people always get to where they're supposed to be. If you're stuck at a rank, you're probably meant to be there. No matter what game it is. It's just... Anyway, what you also said reminded me of when we did a like this was years ago. We did a flawless DSC. We were trying to do a flawless DSC. And we were literally on the last boss. He had a sliver of health left. And someone got too close and he ground pounded them and pushed them off the map. But it was a Titan. So he was slowly floating off the map. There's clips of this. It's really funny. And I'm just watching him while everybody's like still... They're excited. They're pretty much excited because we just got, the flawless DSC, which nowadays is probably super easy. Probably was back then, but we're not all elitists, Anyway, and I was just watching it happen. It was all down on the stream. And if I had just stopped watching it happen and probably fired, I had 2 anarchy bullets left in my anarchy. If I had just fired them at the boss, he might have died before the guy went over the edge of the cliff. But I just watched him go over the edge and die. And then that's when... then the boss died. So he died. And then the boss died. And then it was sort of like the realization of everyone else on the team that... they're like, what happened? Why didn't we get the triumph? Why didn't we get the achievement? Because it was also loud and happening at the same... It was really funny. Ironically, it was with Shrouded 7, Bebo, just before your time. Anyway, it was really funny. And then we went and we just did it again. And then we got it on the next try. Like, it's pretty good. It was funny. Oh, man. Anyway, you saying you sat there and watched a wipe reminded me of that. I just wanted to share the story. It's a little bit different, but it wasn't a wipe. It was a ruined flawless, but still amusing. Yeah. Very amusing.
I've definitely wiped some flawless runs in a stupid-ass way before, so I can't really say much.
Now, I'll call out Valk's internet for fucking us being able to get stuff done. Like fucking Persis last night. Valk, can you go chop that damn tree out of your yard? Blocking the fucking satellite so you can get a good signal. That's right. You're called out. I don't even know if she's in chat anymore.
Satellite internet sucks.
Well, she doesn't have options based off where she lives.
You could just run a fiber optic line through the sky all the way to a box somewhere in a city. You can do that manually. Right?
Anyway, we're playing Final Encounter on Persis last night, and Valk is like appearing and disappearing off my screen constantly. I have no idea where she actually is, but she just is randomly popping in and out all over the fucking map.
That's pretty funny.
It was fun.
I bet. Okay. All right, so let's touch on what they've actually changed. Okay. Okay. So each dungeon will be featured for 2 weeks as opposed to 3, and we're increasing non-manifold currency drop rates, which can be exchanged for additional weapons. I'm basically just reading this, by the way, if you're curious. With this change, Ghost of the Deep will now launch next Tuesday, May 20th, alongside the above change. The second week of the given dungeon will feature increased weapon drops. From what I read later on down here, they're going to try to figure out increased weapon drops for the rest of this week, because it's now technically the second week of Spire. I don't know if they've done that yet. Starting on June 17th, all Rite of the 9 dungeons will be available to play anytime on any difficulty, and increased currency drops will be active for all 3 dungeons. So if you want to just wait to play on the farm, you're more than welcome to. Each week of a featured dungeon will have increased weapon drops. This will begin Spire on June 17th, Ghost on the 24th, Prophecy on the 1st of July, Canada Day. On July 8th, Ludapalooza will begin. All 3 dungeons have all reward bonuses enabled for the final week of Episode Heresy, alongside a new way to spend your non-manifold currency. This gives us all Guardians ample time to hunt for the hollow foils and adepts as they prepare for Edge of Fate launch on July 15th, and all their weapons are made useless due to tears. Oh man, I should have just read this. And to quickly revisit... Oh, no, never mind. Difficulty option. What is this? Quickly revisit difficulty option? Okay, I'm going to read this because I don't probably even know what it is. Explore mode is what you need if it's your first time jumping into the dungeon, because everything is laid out and explained to you. All right. Also good if you want to matchmake with others and have a chill session. Okay. Eternity mode is for those familiar with the dungeon and looking for extra rewards, but maybe don't want the most challenging experience. You will feel the heat, just not as much as in Ultimatum mode. What's the power drop at Ultimatum?
I'm pretty sure it's -20 like contest.
-20. All right. This one is for players that have mastered the dungeon, crave the best adept loot, and want to be challenged all the way until they finish it. Revive tokens are limited. Encounters have timers or enraged bosses, and everything just hits harder. Do you have revive tokens for the whole dungeon?
Yeah. It's like contest mode, but with
including the traversal sections.
Wild.
Yeah, it's like contest mode, but with like Banes and modifiers.
1 each.
Oh, so it's only like... Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay. So it's like a raid.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a contest mode activity.
Then on top of that, in the actual encounters, the rewards you get is wholly dependent on how many deaths you have. You can have 1 death and still get the maximum rewards. The moment you have 2 deaths, you can still get rewards, but they won't be as good as they would have been otherwise, regardless of how many tokens you have left.
Okay.
Which does kind of create, maybe not an issue, but a thing of people will find, at least for Spire, like the intro of it, where you have to open the door. People are just farming that because gold guarantees an adept. So people are literally just farming the opening of Ultimatum Spire, not even doing the full thing, just because there's no reason to, outside of the one time.
Yeah, we talked about that actually last week. I remember Rick telling me that you do it once and then you just farm the first encounter.
Yeah, which people will not be able to farm the opening of Ghosts. I can guarantee that, unless they change the timer by like a lot.
I mean, we already know there's going to be a timer there, so, and it's going to be like, I think it was, 5 minutes or something?
It was 5 minutes, yeah. So unless they change that timer, people are not going to be farming the first encounter for sure.
No. But depending on how bad Ekthar is, that'll probably be the easiest farm in the game regardless. But the easiest farm for that particular Ultimatum dungeon, anyway.
You said the first encounter will be the easiest part?
Final? What's that?
You said the first encounter will be the easiest part of
Ekthar. Ekthar will probably be
okay.
Farm.
Yeah, Ekthar will probably be the easiest part of that contest.
There ain't no way I'd be farming final. Holy shit!
I unironically think first encounter will probably be the hardest part of contest ghosts. If I'm being real, like no troll. I think that 5-minute timer is going to fuck up a lot of teams if they're not ready for it.
I'm not ready for it.
That's essentially like a minute for each round, because there's also the delay in between rounds of having to wait for deep sight to run out, which, depending on when you dunk the thing, is like literally 20 seconds of waiting around for a timer to run out. So it's essentially a minute for each phase.
Yeah, people are gonna need to be on point with their routes.
Yeah, and
Every
you're probably
single
gonna have
time.
to leave someone at like where you dunk the things just to be able to like quickly do it. So you're essentially gonna be two-manning the actual
Have
routes.
it ready when people get there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Again, assuming they don't change the timer. If it stays 5 minutes, I feel like it's gonna trip up a lot of teams who aren't ready for it.
Okay.
So I feel like, I feel like
Nope.
the final boss it'll depend on what they change about her, because like let's say for some reason they add like moths that either spawn randomly or like are kind of hard to predict. That's going to be rough because the moths in Sumuma normally are very predictable and you know exactly when they're going to spawn. So if they add just like a random moth, that's going to be hell. But I feel like if they don't do that, Sumuma won't be too bad.
All right. Well, on to the next part. Heavy metal finishes up tomorrow. So you have until then to complete your event track if you want the Combat Sparrow, or you want the Seal, or you want the Guild. And I gotta say, I think 1 week is pretty fucking stupid for this.
Yeah. Or hear me out. Just do like I did and be like, I've got 2,000 silver on my account. Let me just buy my Sparrow and not ever play a single round of party dog shit game.
Or you'd be like me and not have 2,000 silver on your account and also not play the event because I saw it was bad on Twitter.
I mean, I did see a group what was it called? The Griffin?
The
Yeah.
Sparrow?
Sparrow, I think it's called the Griffin, right?
I have no clue.
Anyway, I did see somebody
yes,
do
it is.
a Griffin-only Templar.
Oh yeah, I saw that video, yeah. Both Twitter and also I've been talking to clanmates, and yeah, most of my clanmates I've talked to have said that it's just bad, so I made the business decision to not play it.
I don't mind it so much. I've played it a little bit. I think it's fine if, you know... No, I think it's fine. I think it's fine mode. It's fun. It's whatever. I think the farm for Guild is way too high. The fact that you can't buy... There's literally a thing that says you can buy re-roll tokens, but you can't buy re-roll tokens. What the fuck's up with that? So you can't get... If you could buy re-roll tokens, you could do bounties all day and get your experience up to level 15 instantly. But because you can't buy them, even though you're supposed to be able to, the menu thing says you're supposed to be able to buy them. It says buy items or reroll tokens. Makes it much longer to get. Wait, Devil says it was available, but they took it down. Why? Okay, whatever. Anyway, it made it easier to get to level 15, so you get your Griffin. Also, the fact that shit is like 200 of those coins for like a reward. Like I played for like 3 or 4 hours the other day. Did all the bounties I could. Did the weekly bounty. And I still can't buy one Ascendant Shard. I don't have enough points or coins. Like, what the fuck was their thought process on how expensive that stuff is?
Yeah, I'm feeling
Like
like I made the right decision.
Did you not play it at all?
I have not played one match. I have the Sparrow, but I've not played one match.
Okay, I missed where you said you just bought it.
I did.
You bought the 15 more. Okay, all right. I must have been looking at something because I missed that completely. Smart. In a way, obviously, I'm a little triggered that I'm not going to have time to guild it, mostly because I don't want to play it. I like having that stuff done and gilded. Like that's part of the reason I play Destiny. I think it's super annoying that we only had 1 week for this.
Was it smart, or was it a sign that I have a problem? Because I spent $15 to fill a collection slot for a piece of equipment in the game that I'm never gonna use.
I don't know. I'm level 9 right now. I'm gonna play a little bit more tonight, and then I'm gonna buy the rest of the slots.
I feel like there's nothing. I think sure, maybe at like a face value wrecked, maybe, but I feel like it's not like the worst purchase ever. Because like, even if you never use it, let's say they buff it someday, and it's like actually worth using, like you have.
I mean,
it.
that's exactly why I did it, because just in case Bungie comes through and fucking buffs this thing, and all of a sudden it's like the meta way for any like GM where you can spawn a sparrow. This is what you need in order to get it done. I didn't want to miss out on that if it ever came to pass.
Yeah, like if you drop $20 on a cosmetic, like yeah, you're stupid, but like it's an actual physical thing you can play with. So I feel like if you don't want to buy Hello Greener, I feel like if you, I feel like if you could actually physically play with the damn thing, it's fine.
I feel like Greener feels called out. He's looking at all those skins he has for his hunter.
Cosmetics all the time.
Yeah.
I
That he spent $20 a piece on.
Like fuck, what was I gonna say?
My league account's worth like $2,000, and it's all cosmetics.
Fuck, what was I gonna say? Fucking Greener looking at me threw me off.
Sorry.
Fuck, I don't know. I'll get back to you.
Devil says reroll chips are currently disabled due to an inventory stacking issue. Well, then extend this shit, because reroll tokens literally makes it so you can get to level 15, like basically instantly. Like you get experience for every single one of those things you complete, every bounty you complete, but you don't get any more until the next day unless you can re-roll them, and you get new ones. It's the whole point of the system. Okay, in 4 hours I got to level 9 with only playing matches, using the reroll tokens that I got in the event pass, which was 2. And so doing the initial 3 plus 2 more in the weekly thing, I got to level 9. So if I was able to keep re-rolling those, I would have been level 15 in a few hours. And maybe they don't want that, but then don't set it up that way, you fucking idiots. But if you set it up that way and then you remove the thing that makes it faster for everybody to get it done, then extend the date. I don't understand why they can't just turn this on until next Friday.
What I was gonna say was, if I could, like, whenever a GM weapon comes out that's like actually worth farming, if I could just pay like 4,000 silver just to get the roll and not have to play GMs, I would do it. Like, technically, yeah, like I could, but it's cringe if you do that. So, but yeah, if I could just skip playing, like, just slop dog shit I don't want to play, I would gladly pay to just skip playing GMs.
Yeah. I'm looking at a tweet where they said they disabled it. Trying to see how long ago it was. It's on the 9th, and they didn't fix it. Jesus fucking Christ, Bungie. Can you stop being terrible at everything?
Don't be so negative, Greener. You're being part of the problem.
You know what? I try so hard not to be a negative Nancy on the internet like everyone else. But sometimes they just make the stupidest fucking decisions imaginable. And this is one of them. Here,
let's horning in on my shtick.
All right, stop. But listen, you got this thing that makes it a manageable grind. Okay, you remove said thing on the fucking 9th, which was the day it launched. Okay, by the way, and now here we are on the 15th, 12 hours away from when they're shutting it down. And they have the audacity earlier today to put out a tweet that said, "You better finish up your grind." Well, look, motherfuckers, why don't you fix your goddamn game mode and then I'll finish my fucking grind, you piece of shit. Like,
all I'm saying is they still haven't fixed Zoetic lock set, so.
I don't care about that, though.
I know, but I'm just saying, there's...
Can you still complete it?
No, but my point is, it's another thing on top of heavy metal they just haven't fixed, even though they know about it, they just won't fix it, because why?
They
Like,
should have just
why-
come out and said this boss isn't supposed to have a precision damage.
Yeah, like if it's like an A-track situation where it's intentional, just fucking say it. Like,
They should have just gone with that. Then they could take it off their fucking problem list.
as of right now, that boss literally just doesn't fucking work correctly. So until they either it's been 3 or 4 years and they never fixed it, like okay, it's A-Tracks 2.0, or they just say like, yeah, it's intentional. You can't use surges or weaken it or crit it. Like, if that's intentional, fine. Because like, yeah, it's still like a pretty easy one-phase boss, even with it not working correctly. But just say it, man. Like, I think it's cool we have like an A-Trax like equivalent in a dungeon, but you know, just the fact that, I mean, nah, that's irrelevant. Never mind. Day one was so fucking long ago. Who cares?
Yes, agreed. All right. Well, you've heard my opinion. I actually don't mind the game mode at all. Like I said, I played it for a few hours already. I don't think you should have to spend 10 hours on an activity that's only a week long to get all the stuff. That's too much time, in my opinion, to expect somebody to invest in 1 week. And I would say this, to get everything, all this stuff, to fill out the event pass, get the Griffin, get the Seal, get the Guild, would take about 11 to 12 hours-ish of gameplay. So I think they fucked up on that. I think the balance is a little off, but not by much. I think they did a pretty good job balancing both teams. I do find you win more often in tanks than you do in Brigs. And it's because it takes one more shot to kill a tank than it does to kill a Brig. Wait. Yes. But the Brigs are more mobile. So but the thing is, it's really easy to just turn your gun and shoot. So even if they are mobile, it's hard to miss. I figured I'd actually talk about the game mode itself. Since nobody else played.
I mean, I have some problems with the actual game mode itself. And
How? You said you didn't play it.
Because I've watched plenty of the gameplay. That's why I made the decision to not play it. You have to get all this experience in order to get your seal and get your gilded done, right? But your experience is based off what you're doing in the game, and specifically, you're getting the most experience from picking up those fucking coins, right? That you may not even be the one that you get to pick it up. You might be like the kill leader on your squad and come away with less experience than the loser at the bottom of your list because he keeps stealing your fucking coins.
Well, make sure you're on top of somebody when you kill them. I didn't know the coins were directly related to experience. Well, shit, I'm going to stop being a team player. Coins also give you a heal and your secondary weapon cooldown instantly. So I've been letting people grab them if they're low on health.
Mm-hmm.
So it's time
and then
for me
there's
to
a
stop
gilding
being a team
requirement.
player.
There's a gilding requirement that basically wants you to let the other team get ahead so you can kill their leader over and over and over again. Right?
The other team each team always has a leader.
Yeah, but you got to make sure you need to. It's easier if you maintain that person as the leader the entire time, right? The game is asking you to game the system because of the amount of kills you need to get for that particular step on the seal. It is in your interest to make sure one specific person is the leader the whole time, so you can just keep chasing them down over and over and over and over and over again.
I see what you're saying. You only have to kill him 20 times, isn't it? That doesn't seem that difficult. Maybe I'm crazy.
And you have to be the one to get the kill. It can't be a shared kill.
Yeah, I hate that. Everything should be shared. Every kill should always be shared kill on any achievement, quest, whatever.
So
that way people aren't fighting for the kills, because people fight for kills and stuff like that all the time so much, and it's so frustrating. Then you just get mad at your teammates for being a butt.
I also enjoy that
being a butt.
I also enjoy that people have figured out how to spawn Brigs and tanks in comp. That also amuses me because they're now PvP assets.
I did not know
that. Yeah. I saw a clip on Twitter of somebody flying around in a Brig in a comp game, firing the gun at rapid speed.
That's pretty funny. That's wild. Okay. Let us move on. Go play heavy metal before 1 o'clock Pacific.
Or just buy your shit.
Oh wait, it's not 1 o'clock Pacific. It's like, no, but you can't buy a guild or a seal. All you can do is buy the Sparrow. The Griffin, I should say. The Griffin. All right, it doesn't matter. Trials of Osiris is back tomorrow. So you got Aisha's Care, but more importantly, you can get Adept Inquisitors next week. They're not the standard Adept drop. You have to get your Aisha's Care Adept at the Lighthouse, and then when you start winning on that, from what I understand, when you start winning on that Flawless Passage, you'll start earning Adept Inquisitors as well.
Yep, correct.
Does that sound right? Okay. That's what I read, so I assumed, naturally.
You're not high energy enough, Greener.
Bro,
People
I
ask
was
me.
screaming like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, someone carry. Do you want an Inquisitor shotgun for some reason? Devil? I bet you don't even know what it is. You just know its name. You don't know what frame it is. I bet you don't know what whatchamacallit it is.
I
what
mean,
can I say?
It's a pinpoint. It's a pinpoint arc frame. It's the best
What?
shotgun in the game.
What? Why was
Or
see?
PvP.
Yeah, I was right though. He's like, nope, I just want it. Anyway, yes, I agree. But I don't have time to farm this shit. Why is everything so all the time?
That's the live service part of the game.
I know, but it's so annoying. Just like leave it on forever. Let anybody play Trials all day long, any day, whenever they want. All right. And they get to pick which weapons drop if they win. That would make my life way easier. Because then I wouldn't have to stress out so much about playing video games all the time. Okay. All right. Anyway, that's it, really. Does it say the map here? What map is it? I don't see a map. Do you know what map it is?
It's Distant Shore.
Okay. Distant Shore, everyone.
Is it Distant Shore?
I don't fucking know. I believe you.
I read the tweet earlier today. Is it Distant Shore?
A tweet from Bungo?
Yeah, there was a tweet about it earlier.
Trials of Osiris this weekend. It doesn't say shit. Doesn't say shit.
I got it. I'll find it. Hold on. Oh, it's in the
yeah,
twid.
man.
It's in the twid. Sorry.
Is it? Where?
Actually in the twid. Yeah.
Okay. Is it Distant Shore?
It's Dead Cliffs. It's Dead Cliffs.
Oh, okay, there we go. Where the fuck is it in the twid? Am I blind?
Increased Trials of Osiris ranks tomorrow. The section we're actually on right now.
Yeah, that's where I'm reading it. Where does it say the fucking map?
The map is
Oh,
Dead
right there.
Cliffs and
Map
the
is
weapon
Dead Cliffs.
Aisha's Care.
Just say the first line. It's in the first line. Okay. All right. Anyway, we Gucci.
Where is it? I can't find it. I skipped the first line.
I didn't skip the first line. It just wasn't important. Well, until it was. But anyway, it doesn't matter. All right. Next week. Okay. So next week we got Iron Banner coming back, which is a little bit more exciting because we get the new Scout Rifle for people to farm. Solar Scout Rifle, lightweight.
Yep. That's a downgrade from Staccato. Yep. Got it.
All right, Mr. Happiness.
I mean, farm it. Farm it. Go ahead, farm it. If you want it, go get it.
Well, I'm not gonna now, but I do need to get my guild at Iron Lord. So I do. There is going to be one more Iron Banner, I guess, on June 17th. But maybe I get it on this one, so I don't have to farm it out on the 17th. I don't need much anyway. I think I'm at like 74 win points, so I just need to get to 100, and then I'm good to go. Ready to rock. I only farmed week 1 until I got... Wait, did I even need anything this season? Is there anything good at all this season that wasn't there last season? Because the Stasis Rocket was from last season, right?
The rocket sidearm?
Stasis Rocket Sidearm, yeah. That was from episode 2, right? Pretty
Yeah.
sure.
That's the only thing that's in there that's really worth farming.
No, but I mean, I feel like that's the only thing that that's the last time I actually farmed Iron Banner was for that.
Yeah, that is
Grimmel's
the only
Dagger
thing.
is very good if you are into 120s in PvP.
You know, I used to be into 120s, but I got a good Grimmel's Dagger like 6 months ago, not that long ago. I can't use it in trials. I just keep getting shit on. But if I'm running a 140, I can actually hold my own. So
Okay, then there's no reason for you to farm trials.
I was so
Or
good
Iron
with
Banner.
steady hand back in the day, though. Like, I don't know what happened to me. I can't run Kermills, I think. I think maybe I'm just stupid.
Old. I got it. I feel it.
Old, yeah, there you go. All right, Hardware Supremacy is in the rotator next week. I don't give a fuck. Do you?
I mean, Supremacy is fun. Hardware is not really my thing in Destiny. Because, you know, if I'm going to play a game without abilities, I'll go play a,
Counter-Strike.
you know, some other shooter. Yeah. You know?
Literally the best competitive shooter on the market. So just say it.
Except for the cheaters.
There's cheaters in every game. No one says it. It's like, yeah, good point. I love good old Counter-Strike. Yeah. So if you're looking at a non-ability game, though, that's where you go, right? There's absolutely no abilities other than smoke grenades and fire grenades and HE grenades. That's literally your only abilities. So those are cool. Of course, I opened my phone to see Paul Tassi weighing in on the art thing. You don't think everybody else has had something to say, brother?
Nope.
Well, it's just he retweeted there's an AMA tomorrow for Marathon. He just retweeted that tweet and said, "I have an art question." Such a fucking smartass. I went off on him like 2 weeks ago on a podcast about how much I fucking hate him, so I'm not gonna do it again.
I like.
So I'm gonna move.
Listen, I like getting commentary on games I play from a guy barely even fucking plays them. All right.
It's. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but it's so weird that so many people turn to him for information from Destiny when he literally barely plays the fucking game. It makes no sense.
Listen, I understand what this is going to sound like. I understand what this is going to sound like, but please take it in the not exactly douchey spirit in which it is intended. But if you go look up his Johnny Quest account on Raid Report, Dungeon Report, and GM Report, you will know everything you need to know about him and whether or not you should take anything he says about the game seriously. All right.
Absolutely. I've seen it, and I didn't like him before I saw it, and then I was like, Bebo showed it to me because we've had this conversation before, and I was like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, he barely plays the game. It seems.
It's not so it seems, unless he's got another account hidden where he's got like 500 clears and everything. Like, he plays this shit less than I do, and that's saying something. We need a journalist that plays Destiny 50 hours a week minimum to work for Forbes and replace Paul Tassi as the Destiny correspondent. Agreed?
Yeah. That was my job right now, to play that much Destiny so I could report about it on some news website. Listen, I'm not going to say the words that are in my head right now, but suffice it to say, I would not be able to type anything for anybody ever. Because I'd be dead. Anyway.
Damn, that's wild. You a big fan of Hardware Supremacy, Thunder?
I don't even know what that is.
That's no abilities.
It's
Then
no
supremacy
ability
is kill
Crucible
confirmed. Kill somebody, pick up the thing they drop to get your points.
mode. Kill confirmed, no abilities in the Crucible.
I haven't played PvP since the first week of the trials we worked, so there you go. But I was thinking of playing it like last week, but I watched a couple of videos, and apparently PvP is in the worst state it's ever been in the history of Destiny. So I also don't want to play it anymore.
It's mostly a comp. It's mostly a comp problem. As long as you're not playing
Yeah.
comp, it's not that bad.
I was going to say I would disagree with that take quite significantly.
Again, I don't know for sure, but that's what I've heard. Cammy Cakes put out a video going on. I mean, it was a comp rant. And then there's a guy I watched named Nico. He also put out a video basically saying why he doesn't play the game as much anymore. Because apparently it's just like really bad. Which to your point, you can go into pubs and use like literally anything and get away with it. But if you want to play anything other than pubs, apparently the game is just miserable right now. But I don't know.
Maybe I haven't played comp much. This just other than getting my Redrix. So, but quick play Crucible or Iron Banner and Trials has been really great for me this episode. I don't know, and I don't play Crucible, so
well, we'll see what Trials is gonna look like when it kicks off. I'm hoping that having the double weapon drops will get the population back up, but the last time Trials here, we were back to the old numbers again, which was, it tends to make Trials kind of a bad experience.
There hasn't been Trials for 2 weeks now, so maybe we'll get a few extra people excited to get in there, and then there's not Trials again next week, so you don't have any other. You have to wait, so hopefully people get in.
Who is clicking, and what is it they're clicking?
It's
Screener.
I'll put it down. I never think anybody can hear anything I'm doing for some reason, which is why I masturbate under my desk. But
Based.
I guess people notice.
You
hear that?
The trick is to also have a VTuber avatar so people can't see it either.
Well, nobody can see me doing this. You wouldn't know what I'm doing right now.
Remember that time not too long ago that you actually took your dick out on stream? You just hid it behind the graphics, homie?
Did I actually do that, or did I just say?
I think you did. You were drunk enough at the time to have actually done it.
I'm not glad I hit my desk and now my computer's just.
Yeah, and he's gone.
Oh, we're back. Okay, we're back. We're good. All right, I'm back.
That was incredible timing. Not gonna lie, because it was just like you literally said, "I hit my desk and my computer," and then it was silence.
All right, that worked out.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. Let's
All
move
right.
on.
Bungie Foundation.
Yeah. So the Bungie, they're doing another Bungie bounty for good. It's going to be on May 22nd, 11 or 10 a.m. Pacific time. They're giving away the Faster Than Light emblem, which is probably the best Bungie bounty emblem I've seen in a while, at least.
Yeah, that emblem is cool.
Let's get it up here, I think.
I like it a lot.
Is this the window? Nope.
Unfortunately, this is happening while I'm at work. So,
Yeah, I never get them either. So, here, we're gonna switch over to this. Oh wait, that's too big. Hold on a sec, chat. That's what she said. Yeah, right here. There you go. I think it's on the screen. Is it on the screen, chat? Someone left the stream. Yeah, it's there. All right, so this is the emblem. It looks really cool. I think it's one of the better ones they've done. If you're wondering how it works, is basically a team from Bungie goes into Crucible, and you try to match up against them. And if you beat them, you get this emblem. And every time you kill them or something, it adds a specific amount they donate to charity. So it's cool. Anyway, that's coming. It's the only way to get it, as far as I know. So, if you want that emblem, which a lot of people are going to want it, May 22nd, 10 a.m. Pacific. I'll be watching the Bungie Foundation Twitch channel. It's Thursday, by the way. And get a bunch of friends together from different regions of the world. Because the way it works is they host somebody either on the West Coast, East Coast of Europe, East Coast of Europe, the West Coast of Europe, the East Coast of United States. I don't know if they announced it. It doesn't look like they're saying which one is the host this time around. So basically, you need to make sure your host is in the same space as them. Because this is connection-based matchmaking, not skill-based matchmaking. So good luck. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's skill and connection. I have no idea. But it's definitely connection, because they always tell you to find somebody in the same region as the host. For a better chance. And you should always have a full fire team, too. Since they do. As far as I know. Anyway, there you go. There you go. I should have showed you here. I'll show you this one too. It's nice. This one's for charity. Donate $10, I think.
25.
25. Holy smokes.
25.
Good emblem, though. We talked about it last week, I'm pretty sure. But check it out. That's this bad boy right here. This one is for
Gauntlet 2025.
Bungie business supporters of Gamers Engaged during their Gauntlet 2020. The fuck is Gamers Engaged?
Provides grants to small organizations making real change in mental health, education, and community.
It's written right here, chat. Anyway, here's the emblem. It's another cool emblem. Great emblems this month. Huge. All right, nothing else on the Twitch.
Shall we talk about Marathon then?
Yeah, talk about Marathon. Oh, we talk anything in the hold on patch notes. They fixed the first watch at Elegant Arsenal quests. As part of the Watcher, fixed the issue where proper rewards were not dropping from the final chest. Nightfall's fixed an issue the Grandmaster Sunless Cell didn't offer pinnacle gear. Fixed an issue where Cade's Fate completion didn't progress timeline reflection. What the fuck that means. Arc. A Warlock Arc fixed an issue where Ionic Sentry didn't chain lightning. That's it. That's all. That's everything in the. That's everything. That's it. We're done. All right. On to Marathon. Let's see if they've responded yet. Damn, that's fucked up. Some TikToker just got shot while live streaming.
One thing for the TWID I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit was
Oh yeah, go ahead.
the thing they're doing with if you speedrun Ultimate Inspire or do it solo flawless, they give you an emblem. I feel like that's really cool they're doing that, because like most of the time when some crazy shit like that happens, like they might drop like a YouTube comment, which they've done like twice ever. So seeing them like actually embracing that side of the game and like even giving away emblems is really cool, even if it's just for like an event. Because they normally just never acknowledge when people do cool shit like that.
So what he's talking about is that the movie of the week, they're opening it up. So as long as you can record the flawless run or whatever, you're eligible for this thing.
Oh,
Just
I didn't even see
submit it through the usual channels for movie of the week.
Yeah, I just think it's cool. They, because normally they don't even acknowledge when shit like that happens in their game. So it's cool that they're like actually embracing it, even if it's just through like a little movie of the week thing. I just think it's cool.
Beat the time above as a team or compete. Inspire the Watcher Ultimate Assault and flawlessly in Ultimatum. Record yourself doing it. Show us and we'll give you artifacting signal emblem. What is that? Artifacting signal emblem.
So I don't even care if the emblems go. It's just the fact that they're like actually like giving the hardcore side of the player base like a little representation is really cool.
It's like a
again,
glitch emblem.
They normally
Looks
like don't
this.
even acknowledge it.
That's it. And apparently, oops. What was that? Right here. All you have to do is beat the time as a team to go and record it.
Yeah, or the other one is Solo Flawless Ultimatum.
Wait, so 13:25? Is that what you
Yeah.
gotta beat?
You ultimatum in under that time. Which, obviously, for most teams, that's going to be really, really, really hard.
Oh.
So, I think it's cool they're acknowledging the hardcore side of the player base and even like giving them a reward for doing said things.
For doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this emblem is just the emblem they've been giving everyone for movie of the week.
Yeah.
This episode, but still easier way to get it, probably.
Yeah.
Well, for some people. For some people.
Yeah, I know I'm not good to do either of those, so.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Neat. On the marathon,
On the marathon.
there doesn't appear to be any response from anyone yet.
All right, well, cue up what has happened, Greener.
All right. Well, someone on Twitter said, "Hey, you stole my art from 2017," and then they provided receipts that were pretty fucking obviously stolen art from 2017.
Not just in promotional materials either, from all over the textures of shit in the game.
Yep, it's in promotional materials, it's in textures, it's everywhere, and they're direct rips. They're not even inspired by. It's just even the names. Like here, this one. Like, this is the art, this green thing. You guys are seeing a delay if you have the stream open. I apologize, but for the people that are watching, this is the art. Or sorry, this is the art. Which one's the art? Hold on.
Wow.
That's the problem, though, right? The fact that I can't tell the difference. Left is the asset spread out over the game. Right is the art. Okay. So let me bring that back up. Sorry. It's in a Discord I'm not allowed to show off, which is why I had to minimize. So, right is the art. Okay? Left is the asset in game. Like, it's a direct rip. 28, arrow, lines, all this stuff. Even the words aren't there. They're just faded. The same fucking words. Like, that, in my opinion, is absurd. And then, let me bring up the...
I feel like the guy from
tweets.
Red War or whatever saying they like stole his whole thing, like that was like, it just looked bad. This is like, it's so blatant, like it's undeniable. It's just insane.
Well, with that guy, the stuff he was alleging was like, it was like wide open concepts, right? Like big wide concepts. It wasn't specific details. This is straight up just lifts.
Yeah, and so here we go again. Just a couple more we're going to show off here. This is from 2016. So this is almost 10 years ago. This the one on the left here, this yellow stuff. And then all this stuff is the promotional press kit and on the Marathon homepage on the website. Like this stuff. Now, while it's not identical this time, all of these symbols are from, and the general concept is basically from here. And then, hold on. There's more. This one's crazy. This is what... Now, the rest of this art here isn't ripped, but you can tell that the general aesthetic's the same. But they literally, like... This is what's so fucking weird to me. Like this text, this is the art, and this is the in-game text. They left that text on, like, changed the name of the text.
Yeah.
Like,
scramble the letters at least, man. Like, fuck.
If you're gonna take this, change this Alep bullshit, Like, none of this stuff has to say Dark Space Haulage Logistics. Just change the fucking name. If you've stolen it, are you stupid?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Anyway,
And-
because they don't even use the rest of this art. They just, for some reason, they must have liked all the aesthetic, and they're like, oh yeah, let's throw that on there. Like, that's so weird. This is weird. This is the weirdest one for me. That they liked this art, they liked the aesthetic, they've been taking it all along from here and here and here. But somebody was like, oh man, I can't do font. Let's just steal it from this image. Like,
I feel like just
That's
before I
just
say
wild.
this is from a tweet I read. These aren't my words. This is from a tweet. But when like one of, or hell, even the only unique thing about this game is the artwork and the aesthetic, the fact that that's stolen is just crazy. That like the big marketing thing of your game is the aesthetic, and you couldn't even like make that yourself. You just stole it. Is insane.
yeah, I mean, the whole all this shit was all the stuff with sorry, with the ARG they did. It was all this green shit with all the symbols. I mean, I have it as my profile picture, for fuck's sakes, because they sent creators to a website that scanned their face. Like, if you look at this, it's me. But I mean, this is it. This is the exact same thing. Now, obviously, they used AI to accomplish this, but you know, it was trained from somewhere, and said somewhere was, you know, oh fuck. All right, what does it say? Game director Joseph will be joining to discuss close. Oh yeah. Oh, he is gonna be there. That's right. They canceled it because he wasn't. I thought he wasn't gonna be there. Okay, that's good. It's good that he's gonna be there. All right. Has Joseph Cross said anything?
I don't know.
Not a fucking word. Oh, the last tweet is a bunch of art for Marathon. Yikes.
Just see Pirate Software's tweet.
I didn't see his tweet. I saw him talking earlier in the Discord. What did he say here?
Yeah,
All
look
right,
at it. I scrolled past it because I don't like follow the guy, but I saw he tweeted about it. The guy's kind of a little cow.
Reddit's insanely damning. It shows that at Bungie lifted designs themselves, or the company at Kerpahosk. Yeah, Kerpahosk is the third party that we were talking about earlier that they worked with for marketing. Brand design did and sold them to Bungie. A number of these are direct copies, so while AI sourcing is possible, it seems unlikely. This creator work spans back nearly a decade. Yeah, okay. He's just saying it's... Don't worry. They're gonna adjust it. Like, all these people are calling them out to say something about it, which is totally fine. It's absolutely totally fine to do that. But I mean, all right, they're gonna talk about it, guys. Just give them a minute to figure out what happened, because you know that Joseph Cross wasn't like, let's just steal all this art. You know that's not what happened. Like, they hired this company, same thing they did last time when the art got stolen for that cutscene. And somebody sold it to them, and I guess they didn't do enough research, even though like it would be impossible to find this shit on the internet because this artist is not popular.
Yeah,
He is now. He is now, but he wasn't.
I imagine this kind of thing is more common than people might
Yeah,
think.
Bungie just keeps getting caught doing it.
It probably happens quite a bit.
Yeah.
And we just don't hear about it because we're not in the communities for those other games where it's happening.
It's just because they keep doing it. It's just a kind of borderline funny at this point. It's like they
Well,
just keep doing it.
I don't know if is it ultimately Bungie's job to fix this? Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
They have the responsibility to fix it. Is it Bungie's fault in the traditional sense of the word? They have culpability, but this is almost certainly a situation where a contractor for a company they engage with to do promotions or work on art design with, provided this to them, right? And they probably trusted this vendor to not steal other people's artwork, right? that this kind of thing happens a lot in the gaming industry, I would assume, because big AAA companies probably use firms like this a lot for their promotional materials, for concept art, even for some stuff that's in a game. If you play a game where there's like a lot of like in-world like posters or like little newsreels up on things you run by, a lot of that was probably done by a third party, right? And Bungie is not the only company to get in trouble over the past year or so over weird stuff going on with their art. I don't know if y'all recall that the latest Call of Duty game had an issue with AI art with the fucking zombie having 6 fucking fingers.
Yeah, the Gobagum image. So shit was horrible.
So this kind of stuff does happen a lot. The company that is actually releasing the media is obviously culpable for it, but I don't know that I agree with folks that are like Bungie stealing art yet again, because I wouldn't necessarily frame it that way.
I feel like it's just amplified because they're in a lawsuit about them, potentially stealing ideas and shit. It's just because they're literally being sued over this pretty much same thing right now, and then it comes out that they're doing it for their whole other IP. It's just like a perfect shitstorm of circumstances. I feel like people are amplifying it a lot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think there's people that are legitimately angry, which is fine. It's totally fine. There's a lot of artists out there that would probably feel pretty mad about this. I think some people. Honestly, I do think this may, not be. This may be a hot take, but I think I think a lot of people don't care, and they only care publicly. Oh, what's it called? Virtue signaling.
Yeah.
I think they're virtue signaling for clicks and, likes and follows and, to be part of the thing. I'm not saying I absolutely agree. Whoever fucked this up, it's terrible.
Somebody is definitely losing their job over it, and that company's probably losing a contract over it, I would imagine.
I would imagine that company's gonna if Bungie comes back and says, this stuff came directly from Kursk or whatever the fuck it was. We apologize. We're gonna make it right, but there's a certain point that we have to trust the companies that we work with. We apologize that we keep making the wrong choice, but if that's the case, like if it's 100% the company, like. That's going to lose them more in a contract. Nobody's going to trust them anymore. This is high profile. Like, they're fucked.
I have no doubt that Bungie will at least reach out to the artist and attempt to make good there. Whether or not the artist accepts whatever they're going to do, who knows. But, I'm sure they will reach out and try to make good.
If I were the artist, I would have kept this under wraps and said, how much money to keep me from talking? They would have got way more if they didn't say anything.
Be like, hey, Bungie, whatever your budget was for Project Gummy Bear, just write me a check that's that size. Send it my way.
And I mean, maybe this is their way of doing that. Maybe they make it public, so then that puts Bungie in a bad light, and then they reach in like, hey, if you shut up, we'll give you da da da. Maybe I don't know. I've never.
Bungie's not going to want to litigate anything. They're just going to take care of it. I mean, it's the most expedient way. I imagine the amount they're going to end up having to pay this artist, or the amount they're going to offer to pay this artist, whatever, it'll just be a drop in the bucket when you look at their budget for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It'll literally be inside a rounding error. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, I am glad this took off. Like, I'm glad the artist is going to get, whatever they deserve for it. I think people are hooking onto it too much and going wild. It's clearly wrong. It's clearly bad, but it's big enough. It's big enough now.
Yeah. And
Stop.
I think it's also just because Marathon has so much stakes behind it, and its success is another thing. It's like, well, some people see this as Bungie's last chance to really like do something other than Destiny, and if this is like the the beginning of it, it's like, wow, okay, you know, you're half your eggs in this basket and you're just stealing shit for it. It's like, bro, what the fuck? So,
Bunch of dum-dums.
but I'm also in the field of like, I don't like care a lot about it. Like, I'm not getting mad or anything. I just think it's funny because I'm not personally gonna play Marathon, even if it's like on Game Pass. I probably won't care. So, you know, there's people that are like probably genuinely outraged about shit like this. I'm sure there's like artists out there that are like fucking wanting to blow their heads off seeing this.
Yeah, they're mad. You say like a Sony game on Game Pass? Yeah, okay, brother.
I don't know what it is, bro. Is it a Sony game?
Sony owns Bungie.
Well, okay, but does that mean it's going to be a PlayStation exclusive?
No, but it's not going to be on Xbox's Game Pass.
I know, but like if I were to able to play it for free in some way, like I'm probably still not going to play it. Like I just don't have any interest in the game, like at all.
You're not going to drop $40 on it and become a successful Marathon streamer?
I'm good. Okay. If I were to try and do that for a game, it would be something a lot. You know, I'd be the one person they type in. You know, like, hey, I want to type in this game and be like your guy. You know, which one of my friends I talk to like every other day is like literally doing that with a game that's like up and coming. So,
smash cut to a year from now when we find out this dungeon and raid content that have been rumors about is actually some of the most fire PvE raid kind of content that Bungie has ever put out in any game, and Thunder's like, I am a fucking Marathon main. Fuck all this looting and shooting. Just leave me alone and let me get to the fucking raid.
There ain't no way there's dungeons and raids in there. That makes no sense for an extraction
There
shooter.
are supposedly
Who
big...
said that?
Scaro indicated that that he wasn't allowed to give details about it, but that there were supposed to be these big PvE dungeon-like, raid-like encounters that you can unlock.
There ain't no fucking way. They did not just run this huge alpha that everybody was split on and not put the best shit that they have in the game on display somewhere.
They didn't even have all the characters available, dog. What do you mean?
Well, I'm well aware of that.
They didn't have the map for the Marathon in the alpha.
How can you be that dumb?
What do you mean?
We
just said earlier, Bungie likes to step on their own dick. Literally. Their dick is so big and dragging on the floor, and they're just dancing on it every fucking day.
Good Lord. These people, man. These fucking people. I can't. No more. Come on, Discord. Give me my fucking server tag. Shitbags. Alright, sorry. Alright, I got nothing else to talk about. That's it. We're done. Forever.
Alright.
I guess I got some Shrouded news after you're done your what are you gonna talk about? Dungeon 0 to Hero?
No, it's not. It's probably a little premature to talk about the other thing that we were talking about. So yeah.
Yeah, probably.
0 to Hero Dungeons continues. You have plenty of time to get a fire team of 3 together and head out to get as many of Destiny's 10 dungeons complete as you can. Step into the first dungeon with nothing but white, green, and blue gear. Only gear up from the stuff you can get to drop while in those dungeons and see if you can make it all the way through. Earn rewards based off how many of those dungeons you complete. It's completely up to you. Play it at your own pace. Just be done by May 31st. So get on out there and jump into a dungeon with some friends. And now you can even take along people who've already completed their first run or whatever, or already completed some runs of 0 to Hero already. So it's easier than ever.
So I can do it again?
You can do it again if you want, but you can't get any more rewards. You'd be doing it to help other people out.
Big.
And you have to reset your gear. Like your gear you can't use any gear you happen to keep, but yeah, you're allowed to do it more times if you want. There were some people that wanted to play with specific people, and those folks were already on teams. And there were some mentors in like Bastion that wanted to be able to get more people to play once they got their runs done. So I was like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead, do it. Enjoy yourselves.
yeah, Saints had made it a point to like get everybody involved with this event, even if it's just doing it once. Which
So let me just say, this event has probably been our most successful in terms of number of participants. I have 40 individual teams that have signed up over the course of this whole thing. So that's times 3, 120 people.
Yeah, I looked in last night I looked in like just the team list just to see, and yeah, there was like so many more teams to when compared to like when, because we did our run day 1 and then I haven't looked at it since like day 2 or 3, and even 2 weeks later, like yeah, there's like way more teams now than like when the event first started. So
the only event that ended up having like any more participation was the very first time I did the Dawning Bingo stuff. That had like 134 people that earned the role, but a good chunk of those people submitted a card that didn't have anything done on it, because at the very end I was like, if you submit a card, you get at least one bingo, right? Or they only did one, so they barely played. This is, getting a team together, and even getting a team together is a heavy lift for some people, and we've got 120 people doing it, so you can expect we're going to have more events like this in the future. I'm actually looking forward to the raid one, but we'll be making some changes when raids happen.
If this is like the standard for events, like these events are going to get a lot more players. Because like that was the big thing, obviously for me. I know I'm in like a very small percentage of players who like all are only interested in like in-game PvE stuff. So having an event that I actually like, this is the first SGC event ever that I participated in, and I've been in the server for next month will be 3 years, and I've never English. Well, I mean, like besides like the Goss event that one time, but like
yeah, sure.
This is the first like of like community event really that I participated in ever, and it was really good. Even if we speed ran it, like so.
Many people did it all in one day. Yes.
Yeah.
So you're not alone, but I'm just glad that so many people are engaging with it. That's all.
Yeah, the raid one's gonna be fire, whatever it is.
It'll be after August, but I don't know exactly when.
See, that'd be depending on what it is. That could be good day 1 practice, but if it's after the raid, then
no. But it does mean the new raid will be able to be included in it. So
fair, yeah, Ashley.
All right, Greener. That's all I got.
Okay.
Thunder, you got any plugs? You want to tell people to become a Sherpa or anything like that?
Yeah, that'd be fire. Become a Sherpa as long as you're good at what you're doing. Yeah, that'd be fire. I don't know.
You can reach out to him to get the application form.
Real.
Okay, Shrouded news. So we've officially been invited by Bungie to be Destiny 2 creator recently. So that's cool. They're going to give us some stuff to give away to the community, which is even cooler. Not a lot, just emblems from time to time. We probably won't have to buy every single copy of the whatchamacallit. Why can't I think of it? Fate of
Edge of Fate.
Name of it? Edge of Fate. Yeah, okay. That we give away. We might get 1 or 2 of them from them. Other than that, they host some other stuff like Bungie content creator events that we might be able to get in on. So there might be some of that content on the Twitch stream. Not 100% sure. I don't know 100% of the stuff that's going to be coming from it. It's really cool that they've acknowledged us. It's funny how it took them until GameSite took over that portion of because it's GameSite again. So if you don't know what GameSite is, third-party company that handles, community relations and things like that. So last week on the TWID, they put out they're inviting more people to become Destiny 2 creators with the Creator Hub and all that. Anyway, we applied and they reached out to us almost immediately and said, "You've been accepted. Come on in." And that's where all the stuff from creators will happen from now on. So that's neat. That's cool. Thanks, Bungie. I appreciate that. Sorry I said mean things about you on the stream. I can't help. Yeah, I can't help it. But they all say really mean things as well, so it's all good. I'm sure it's fine. Beyond that, we've been recognized by some other companies as well. So there's going to be some sponsored streams coming up, and I wanted to tell you about them real quick. Ironically, I've been talking about this game a lot, and now I have to stream it for a little bit. So it's Clair Obscura Expedition 33. They have contracted us to play some of their game online, even though we've already talked about it a bunch on the podcast. And I sang it high praises because I think it's probably one of the best games I've played in like ever. Very much enjoy it. Now I got to play it over again though, so I don't know about that. Anyway, I've already scheduled that on the events. You can check it out. I think it's next Thursday. We're going to be doing like a 4 or 5 hour stream. If we do any more beyond that, who knows? That's going to be during the day though. So not as many people might be able to watch it. We also have been asked to do an Atomfall stream. I don't know anything about that game. I don't know much about it. But right now, whenever anybody offers me anything, I've been saying yes, because I want our name to spread a little bit. So we'll be playing Atomfall at some point on stream as well. And one day we will finish Split Fiction, I promise. Anyway, the point is, it's really cool that Bungie has acknowledged us. Now we've got this new French company that likes us. And then whoever developed Atomfall, I don't even know. Atomfall developers, Rebellion Developments.
It is akin to like a Fallout game, but don't set your expectations at Fallout levels, please.
Okay, fair enough. The game was inspired by Fallout New Vegas. Yep. All right. Which was described anyway. So that'll be same day as the Bungie bounty. Is it the same day as the Bungie bounty? That's hilarious. Oh well, I didn't know what day the Bungie bounty was. I don't particularly care. I'm not doing the Bungie bounty, so. Wait, did I say Thursday? I think it's on Wednesday. My bad, everybody. It's on next Wednesday that we're doing the Clair Obscura. Clair Obscure. Oh, and I have a copy of the game to give away. Almost forgot to tell you about that. It's only on Steam, but yeah, if you're interested in the game and you want it on Steam, you'll be able to. You might be able to win. You'll even have the DLC, which I didn't even buy. Isn't that cool? I think it's just outfits. It's the deluxe edition. That's all the news I have. Anybody got anything else? I think that's all the news I have. Bungie, Atomfall, Expedition.
Not video game related, but I graduate high school tomorrow.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
And you're here on this stream with us, celebrating your last day in high school. That's cool.
Well, not like last day, as in like the ceremony and all that's tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, once you get the diploma, you don't have to go back.
Yeah.
FYI.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. Thank you, man.
No, that's really cool, man. Congratulations. The best part of your life is over.
Yeah, great. I'm looking forward to it.
Sorry, brother. No, it's not that bad. All right. I guess we're done. I feel weird all of a sudden. I don't know why. I think I'm tired. Maybe I'm tired. Okay. We'll do an outro. Thanks for watching episode 108 of This Week at Shrouded. I was your host, Egg Greener. Once again, thanks to Thunder and Rect for being here. I appreciate it. Sorry for the screaming. Sometimes we get worked up. We talked about a lot today. Marathons, art theft, Bungie backpedaling on Rite of the Nine, being very mad that heavy metal is too short timeline for how much time investment it requires. all his stuff. It was a great episode. We drew it out a little bit, but overall, I had a lot of fun. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I hope to see you next week on This Week at Shrouded. Bye-bye.